economy is best for me?
Well, there's lots of types.
There are 3 choices:
traditional,
command,
and market economies.
In a traditional economy, all members are involved with jobs set up and based on tradition. It is stable, predictable, and continuous.
On the downsides of the traditional economy, new and modern ways to do things are not accepted. And if tradition dictates that you and your family do not get an item, then you're left without it.
In a command economy, people get education, healthcare, and public services at little to no cost.
In a command economy, the government controls everything, including most or all of the resources within a community. So if you need something and the government doesn't have it, you're out of luck. This creates a continuous cycle of unmet needs within a community.
A market economy, however, has an advantage to adjust to change. There are also individual freedoms to choose from a variety of goods and services without government interference.
Oh wow, this market economy is starting to sound really great.
Why not try
The target market!
The target market is a market economy that includes benefits like
Private property.
Private properties are important to market economies because it allows people to buy and sell items and gain profit from it. Take real estate, for example. Oftentimes, people buy old houses, renovate them, and make sure they're updated and sell them for a profit. You can also rent out or lease out spaces without losing your property while still gaining money. This isn't the case in other economies. In traditional economies, you have what tradition dictates. You don't get anything outside of that. In command economies, the government controls everything, which means you don't gain a profit from any property that's your own.
Private property works because of property rights, which is the right to own property and earn profit from it.
Competition is very important because it allows sellers to lower the price in the market. Competition also determines market price because it allows sellers to lower the price of similar products. This causes consumers to be more attracted to the product because it has a lower price but higher quality.
If the product is expensive, it means that making the product is scarce. For example, gold is expensive because gold is hard to find. However, when the product is cheap, it means that scarcity reflects the price of the good.
In our target market, price is determined by the consumers and producers. They both come together to meet the consumer's demand while the producer still makes profit.
In our economy, entrepreneurs are risk takers that are driven by profit and success. They make their own business and generate income, creating jobs so that we can thrive as a nation. Prices and income are the allocative systems in a market economy. This means that the price of a given item and your annual income influence whether you can buy an item or not. The goal of business is to gain maximum profit while providing a product people want and can afford. The ideal price of a product at a given quantity that gains the most profit while still being a low enough price to entice consumers.
If tradition dictates what people get in a traditional economy and government allocates what you get in a command economy, what happens in a market economy?
Price and income.
But how does the government play a role in target market?
One of the ways government contributes is by the national defense. The national defense must be handled by the government, which can be an expensive enterprise. The government has to provide national defense by taxes. The government can use taxes to regulate things such as environmental concerns.
An example for environmental concern is Fiji Water. The company that owns Fiji Water ends up polluting the Virgin Islands because of their big factories. This causes the government to tax them more. The government then uses the money to clean the polluted islands.
Another way government plays a role in target market is by enforcing property rights. Property rights is laws created by the government in regards to how individuals can control, benefit from, and transfer property.
For example, the owner of an apartment with complete property rights to the apartment has the right to determine whether to rent it out or keep it for themselves.
The government also makes market more competitive by selling things that are similar. This causes competition. For example, Adidas and Nikes are both very competitive and have to improve their standards to be better than one another.
The government also protects consumers' rights in a market economy. The government ensures that businesses are in fair trade and prevents fraud. This ensures competitors from gaining a false advantage and makes sure people buy what they think they are buying.
Disclaimer: the target market does not benefit those who are too old, too young, or too sick because they can't work for their own money.
I'm speaking to Lucia Wong, a property owner. Where do you own your property?
I have one piece of property in San Francisco.
And what determines the monthly rent for your tenants?
What determines how much I charge my tenants is the amount of bids that I get. I mean, it's like housing is so scarce in San Francisco that people are willing to pay more than what I'm offering.
Why is why is housing scarce in San Francisco?
Because the popularity in San Francisco, the amount of job that is driving people to come. We're near the Silicon Valley, and there's more people working here than compared to the amount of housing that San Francisco has to accommodate all these people.
And that would raise property tax?
That create taxes in San Francisco especially heavy because the demand is so high and the amount of housing is not enough that drive property taxes high, and that is the result of higher rent.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Choose the target market.
The market you're aiming for.